Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan, fresh from being at the Aviva last night, and we bring you another installment of Keep, Loan, or Sell. Jack, how are you doing, my man?
Doing pretty well, Dave. Had a fantastic stream earlier on Flatcap. Looking forward to this Keep, Loan, Sell series continuing. Everybody seems to have enjoyed it. Everybody really likes the idea, Dave. So applause to you, I must say. Really seem to enjoy this kind of breakdown. Plenty more to go. So, Dave, might as well just get this started. And you can probably tell by the title now, everybody, we are going with GIOVANNI Lo CELSO. As you probably know by now, Dave, the bronze card means we're selling him. GIOVANNI Lo CELSO. 26 years old, actually joined the club in 2019, originally on that loan. The fee for the transfer from Betis was 27 million pounds, but the original loan fee was actually 15 million pounds, totaling 42 million pounds in actual total fees for Gio Lo CELSO. Total matches played in his career for Spurs, 79 in all competitions. In those 79 games in all competitions, he managed to get 12 goal involvement, 17 matches played in the most recent season, and he had 3 goals and assists in the most recent season. Before I kind of get to you, Dave, things that maybe I kind of came to mind when it came to Gio is that he did kind of come in with a bit of a reputation from Betis. He actually had some pretty decent numbers there. We were kind of expecting him to sort of replicate those numbers and help out Harry Kane and Sonny, but he didn't really live up to that hype. He also was originally, I think, sort of a PSG sort of product of some kind, or at least had some spell over there where he was developing. So he did kind of come in with a bit of hype, and I just feel like he fell flat on his face ever since he sort of came here. He had that original good spell under Jose, where he's kind of playing as more of a deep lying sort of midfielder, alongside, I think, another midfielder. But, apart from that, Dave, it was like just really a conundrum when it came to Gio. Injuries were a huge part of, his career. When he first got started, I think he even had an injury right away. He just kind of couldn't get any sort of consistent spell of games, not because of his form, but also because of his injuries. Argentina, Dave, was actually probably the reason for the majority of his injuries, if I recall. And Argentina seemed to be the club, or almost like a club, actually, in fact, that he liked playing for more than Spurs. And he seemed to really show it and not make much of a secret of it. He seemed, for me, Dave, looked worse over time. At first, I kind of was excited about this transfer, but more and more, Dave, like I just lost all faith and sort of like trust that this guy was even at some stages like a high level sort of footballer, because there was so many moments where you're just so confused as to how this guy sort of made the living that he did, or how he even was worth 42 million pounds. It was really weird to ever like understand his position, Dave. It was confusing to understand his position. Some days he was a right wing, some days he was like next to the defensive midfielder, other days he's a number 10, and he never really did anything of any significance in any of those positions. Never really looked that comfortable in any of them. And also, apparently, Dave, lastly, seen as a bit of a weirdo, apparently, according to Ali Gold in the dressing room.
No, 100%. Look, Jack, I want to take you up on them positions. Look, and I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, the fact that we played him in a load of different positions, that hasn't helped them. But the fact that he hasn't stood out in any of the positions is also a reason why we've probably tried to play him in different positions to try and get more out of him. Look, I think none of us can sit here and say that GIOVANNI Lo CELSO does not have talent, because he does have talent. But, Jack, hard work beats talent every day of the week. And he doesn't have that work ethic. Look, we all got excited by what we were loaning in from Real Betis. I'll be honest with you, I was surprised Tottenham took up the option to buy GIOVANNI Lo CELSO when we did. But realistically, he had one month of a good spell, and that was under Jose Mourinho at that time. That was it. That's the only real good month he's had in a Tottenham jersey. He hasn't made the most of any of his opportunities. Some people will look at the goal involvement numbers, Jack, compared to the game he's played, and says, oh, they're not too bad. Why are we letting this guy go? There's more there. Most of them come in the Europa Conference League. That's the problem with them. Most of them numbers come from the Europa Conference League and Europa Conference League qualifier games. Anytime the guy has been given a chance in the Premier League or that, he has never really took his opportunity. He's never really took his chance. Look, when even the season when we loaned him out last season, a lot of his appearances came under Nuno. As soon as Conte came in, he started 2 games under Antonio Conte, just 2. And, it's clear to see that And it's no coincidence either, Jack, that since this guy was shipped on in January, that look how much this team has improved just through having good attitudes and the right work ethic. So for me, look, no doubt about it. There's talent there with the guy, but he does not want to be at Tottenham. He has shown that in terms of his appearances. You go back to that game against United, where I think we're 2-0 down at this stage, 3-0 down at this stage. Son's running through. All he has to do is pass it with the inside of his boot into Son's path. And what does he do? He goes with an outside of the boot pass behind Sonny with no pressure on him. And that just goes, and Sonny has to check his run. The chance is gone. And that just goes to show how little he cares. Like you said, Jack, always a fit for Argentina, never fit for Tottenham Hotspur. Never. And I get people are going to say, oh, well, you know, he plays well for Argentina. He went out on Villarreal and had a good campaign. Okay. Maybe he likes them sort of climates. Maybe he likes what it's about, but he is not cut out for the Premier League. We have given him a chance. We should never have paid the 45 million for this guy, or whatever it is, 42 million in fees and everything else for this guy in the first place. But the reason why we've done it is because Christian Eriksen was sort of on his way out of the club. And for me, I understand why we've done it. We've given this guy every chance. We brought him in. Look, don't get me wrong. The fact he's played under different managers probably hasn't helped him either. But at the same time, we're not sitting here making that excuse for Kane, Son, Højbjerg, other players like that. You know, they no matter what managers they've put it in. So for me, I think it's just a cert that this guy is gone. For me, I don't care if you haven't sold him on by the end of the summer. Look for a loan move. And if he doesn't want to try and help himself get a move, rip up his contract. He is not a part of Conte's plans going forward. 2 starts when Conte arrived, and then that's why he ended up being loaned out in January. Yep. No manager has really fully trusted him. Pochettino, Jose Mourinho, or Antonio Conte, and that tells me everything I need to know. 3 of the best managers we've ever had at this club, unless you want to go back to the likes of Bill Nick days and stuff like that, you know. But the 3 of the best managers we've had at this club in my lifetime, none of them have trusted them, and there's a reason why.
There is a reason why. Pau Torres supposedly rumored with Spurs, and maybe a player plus cash deal, maybe swap on hand here with Gio CELSO going to Villarreal, and maybe some sort of fee that we would pay in exchange. I think supposedly like Spurs are kind of willing to part ways with Gio for around 20 to 25 million euros. I think is like supposedly, you know, what they're willing to accept. I think in Villarreal's case, Dave, they kind of have been underbidding that 20 to 25 million. So maybe this Pau Torres swap deal might be the way that we most likely could see Gio heading out the door, because the only way it looks like he's heading to Villarreal is if maybe we do this Pau Torres swap deal. If we don't do that deal, then I think he might be headed to some other La Liga club that is willing to pay that 20 to 25 million euros. There you are, everybody. Gio CELSO, we have decided to sell him. Maybe not a big surprise there. And it's even if you think he should stay, there is heavy rumors that he is headed out the door this season. We have this summer, many more videos coming when it comes to Keep Loan Sell. Just stay tuned. We do have it actually listed as a playlist as well on the channel. So if you haven't caught the other ones before, feel free to check those ones out as well. Hit that like button on your way out. And yeah, as always, come on, you Spurs. And in Conte we trust.
In Conte we trust. Get your comments in below, guys.